This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel on day 3 of the pause season. Yesterday, no video, was a little wiped out after a hard week of work and not feeling overall the best, but feeling a lot better today, so we should be good to go. Let me get to what we're going to be discussing today. Simply put, the season comes to an end for the time being, and what does Tyson not do the day it comes to an end? Kind of review exactly where we're leaving off, right? Is we got to have the leave off point, and that is exactly what today's video is. Simply put, the stats check, right? The stats check on where this Oilers team is leaving things after finishing, well, pretty fine and dandy, quite honestly. 83 points in the season so far. And if I could click the right button, we'd be able to find the standings here and kind of give you that updated look as well. So the Oilers, with 71 games played, they have 83 points. Every team is around that 71 mark or below. There's nobody in the Western Conference that's played 72 games. And in fact, the Oilers are kind of tied for the most games played across the NHL right now with 71. So that's kind of interesting, right? Is if you talk about them maybe playing up to a 75 game season, how that all works, that's kind of the tough part. So we'll eventually find that out, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later today on the scenarios of playing regular season or going right back into playoffs and getting this job done. Obviously, too many situations there to count. Everything's on the table. So for right now, let's just go and enjoy a little bit of a stats check and see how our Oilers did up to this point, right? Normally, end of every year, we're going to go sit there and review the stats anyways, so we might as well review the stats right here, right now, and discuss what's going on with Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and the gang. So, Leon Draisaitl, 71 games played. He's played every single game this season. 43 goals, 67 assists, 110 points with a -7 on the year. That's a pretty big jump for Mr. Leon Draisaitl, that's for sure. Connor McDavid, just as good. 64 games played, 97 points, 63 assists with 34 goals. Again, another sneaky goal-scoring season. Oh, to Connor McDavid, I must say, that's I don't know when he scored 34 goals, it kind of seems, right, based on some of that time he spent on the lineup and stuff, but he's been really productive so far this season, and that's fantastic to see. Again, the stat with Connor McDavid is he would have unlimited amounts of goals if he would shoot the puck. We all know that. We 100% all know that. And that's only in 64 games played, mind you. So keep that tucked away in the back of your brain at some point this season if we get into the playoffs a little bit as well, right? And then Nugent Hopkins, this is the one that really benefited from having Draisaitl, the Yamamoto line, come together. Nugent Hopkins with 65 games played, 22 goals, 39 assists. He missed some time with that wrist injury, I believe, or hand injury it was, and 61 points total. So another 60-point campaign out of Nugent Hopkins. I'm sorry, if you're angry that we're paying $6 million a year for what we're getting out of Nugent Hopkins, at this point, guys, it's got to be clear. Keep Nuge forever, simply put. And then we get into the 30s here, and this is actually an interesting go for sure. Some of our guys scoring 30 points or more this season. Those guys would be, well, Zach Kassian, 34 points in 59 games played, 15 goals, 19 assists, came just shy of getting assist number 20 before the pause season took hold. Oscar Klefbom, 62 games played, 5 goals, 29 assists, 34 points, tied with Zach Kassian for fourth in team scoring. Okay, we'll take that. Darnell Nurse, who was on an absolute heater the last few games before the season wrapped up for the time being. 71 games played, so he's been durable. At least that's one thing we can't complain about Darnell Nurse for. 5 goals, 28 assists, 33 points as well. And guys, that went from probably about 24 points to 33 in the span of 2 weeks, it seems. Quite honestly, every secondary assist there was in an Oilers game for the past 2 weeks, I think you can check mark that Darnell Nurse got it. It's pretty crazy if you check the stats books, that's for sure. James Neal, 31 points, 19 goals, 12 assists. So the thing is, James Neal had a bunch of goals, no assists, kind of similar to what Alex Chiasson was doing last year. Now all of a sudden he's kind of boosted up in those 55 games played, gotten up to 19 goals, 12 assists, and to be able to combine for 31 points. Though, the stat we absolutely love. Look at this. The guy that's on this chart that really doesn't belong there in terms of games played. How about this? Kailer Yamamoto, 27 games played, 11 goals, 15 assists, 26 points total, and a plus 17. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that is absolutely insane. Kailer Yamamoto is a plus 17 this season and on the Edmonton Oilers. That is craziness. And then Alex Chiasson. How about this? 65 games played, 11 goals, 13 points or 13 assists, 24 points. So you imagine if he plays all 82 kind of deal, I imagine he's in that 30-point range, no problem. And for $2 million compared to what we're paying James Neal, Darnell Nurse at that 3.2, Oscar Klefbom, Zach Kassian at that 1.9, right, is 2. Whatever, one for Alex Chiasson, not a bad get, that's for sure. I didn't like that contract early this season, but lately he really picked it up, and that's fantastic to see. Another guy, really talk about a value bargain contract for points on the back end. How about Ethan Bear? 5 goals, 21 assists. That's fantastic, but another value contract that we aren't talking about in terms of goal scoring. I skipped a man. Josh Archibald, 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points in 62 games played. A guy is not inclined to complain about that whatsoever. And then you get down into the guys that haven't done much point scoring. Riley Sheahan, a guy who, it seems he's been all over the score sheet since December. Really only 15 points, but still very effective on the penalty kill, and you can't complain about that, so 15 points there. Sam Gagner, a guy who was doing good, of course now traded. 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Problem is that contract was not a value contract at all. And then you've got Jujhar Khaira, guys, probably the biggest disappointment for a lot of fans all season. Problem is we placed way too high of expectations on this guy. And talk about Riley Sheahan being so hyped up compared to Jujhar Khaira. There's a difference of 400K there. They do the same job and they have a difference of 5 points. Yes, a little bit of disappointment, but not as big of a disappointment as many people are trying to make him out to be this season. A guy that hasn't really grabbed a foothold, played 58 games for us, but really, I don't think has surprised me as much as I was hoping he would. Gaetan Oss, really, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points. Serviceable as a fourth-line centerman, but a little bit tough, right? I was expecting quite a bit more out of Gaetan, but you know what? Just adjusted to the game and just does what he has to do. And I think being a right-hand shot on that line kind of brings him back to reality a bit more than if he was a left-hand shot. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel he missed a lot of pucks. I don't know if it's positioning or what, just based on his handedness, but you get at me and give me your opinion on that. Caleb Jones, 43 games played, 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists, solid effort out of him. Joakim Nygard, talk about a guy that you expect to do a lot more. 9 points in 33 games played, but the injuries. Benefit though, we're going to get him back probably after the pause season's over, and he'll be healthy and ready to rip. And look at that, we'll have a fully healthy lineup. Let's go, but so will everyone else. So that's kind of a problem. Then Chris Russell, 9 assists in 55 games played. That one's tough. Obviously, yeah, you know what? Chris Russell probably is up in the 10, 12, 13 point range if he plays a full season so far through 71 games. Still, as much as you'd like to just know that Chris Russell's defensive stalwart, he does what he needs to do and he gets the job done and don't complain about the points. 9 points for $4 million, I'm going to complain about the points. Matt Benning, 8 points in 43 games played. The fact that Matt Benning is still playing hockey is a little bit miraculous after seeing that little bit of a back-to-back concussion issue there. But you know what, 8 points, still would like to see more out of him. And it's not in terms of assists. I'd like to see more goals. Matt Benning, if he gets the puck on net, guy's got a cannon. He'll score a lot of goals, no doubt about it. Adam Larson, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. Talk about complaining about a contract. You guys have heard that enough times. Ragged on Chris Russell. I don't need to rag again on Adam Larson. You know where I sit. Patrick Russell, 5 assists in 45 games played. Guy needs a goal. Guy simply just needs a goal, that's for sure. Marcus Granlund, 4 points, 34 games played. Pretty much my biggest disappointing contract of the year. $1.3 million 1 year and does that. Yeah, didn't do it much on the penalty kill. Tough go for Marcus Granlund. Tyler Ennis, 4 points in 9 games. We're seeing kind of what we have in him still. But you know what? The scoring is a little bit nice to see right there so far through 9 games since the trade deadline. Andres Athanasiou, yeah, guys, the new guy that's getting piled on. That happens every trade deadline. I'm not worried about it. He will pull through, hopefully, if this season resumes. And you know what? If he doesn't, I'll gladly wear it. No doubt about it. Thomas Sherko, guy got 2 points in 12 games. Same with Joel Persson, 13 games. Colby Cave with a goal. Mike Smith, 2 assists through his games played. Brandon Manning with a goal. These are guys that haven't really played, right? Tyler Benson with his first career point and assist in 7 games. Mike Green, he'll be back. Problem is he's injured right now, so we'll see if we get him back before the pause season's over. Mikko Koskinen, 38 games played, no assists like Mike Smith. William Lagesson, same thing, no points. And that is your Edmonton Oilers goal scoring chart as of the start of the pause season. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Who's your biggest surprise on there? Who's your biggest disappointment? Let me know in the comments section below. I will catch you in the next one.